year was 1969, Bill Russell's last as a center for the Boston Celtics. That year, the Celtics took on the Los Angeles Lakers for the NBA championship. They were the Lakers of Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain. And it came down to this one shot by Don Nelson. The Celtics got the bounce, and they became the last team to repeat. A year ago, it was the Lakers and Celtics again. Los Angeles was spectacular, but Boston was timely. It was a series that featured everything: hustle, determination, violence, hostility. There was the heat of the Boston Garden, the total exhaustion, the jubilation, and the dejection. And in the end, it was too much Larry Bird, and the Celtics won title number 15. Welcome back to Memorial Day on the banks of the Charles River in Boston. It's the NBA World Championship Series, and one more time, it's the Celtics and the Lakers. And a most familiar sight for basketball fans this time of the year. Those championship banners of the Boston Celtics hung so proudly above the ancient floor here in the Boston Garden. And the two you will focus on for this series, 1968 and 69, you see that's the last time that any NBA champion has been able to repeat and come back. And now here this afternoon, the war begins all over again for the Celtics, who a year ago in a dramatic 7-game series in front of a sellout crowd here in the Boston Garden were able to win their 15th World Championship. And for the visiting Los Angeles Lakers, it was still another year of frustration, coming right down to the wire and then losing. And now we are set to begin again. The World Championship brings together the Magnificent Two, the Lakers and the Celtics, and Game 1 is coming up. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. I'm Brent Musburger, and I'll be your host for this championship series. One statistic just jumps off any page at you regarding these two teams. They call this one of the greatest rivalries in all of sport, the Celtics and the Lakers. And if that is true, it is the most one-sided rivalry in all of sports. 8 times these two have met for the NBA championship, and 8 times the Celtics have won. The Lakers are determined to break through this time, but time will tell. Now let's go down to the floor to the two gentlemen who called the action for you, Dick Stockton and Tommy Heinsohn. Dick?
Thank you very much, Brent. And the Lakers did not win the most games in the league. They don't have the home court advantage, but the Lakers are the favorites in this championship series. But the jury will be out on them until they prove that they can stand up to the intimidation factor that the Boston Celtics are about to put on them. There will be a confrontation sooner or later, and how the Lakers react to that will tell much about what fate lies for them. As far as the Celtics are concerned, it's going to be a test for their Iron Men starting lineup. Most of them will go 40 minutes or more, and the question for them, with a weakened bench, can they handle a grueling series against the Lakers with a starting 5 who will play most of the way? My partner, as usual, is Tom Heinsohn. How do you look at this series, Tommy?
Well, Dick, I consider this a classic of contrast of styles, much like the heavyweight championship fights between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. The Lakers are like Muhammad Ali. Use the feet, jab at you, and then try and beat you with a flurry of fast break baskets. The Celtics will go to the body, get their inside game going, mainly on the offensive boards. I think it's going to be a classic series and one of the greats.
Tommy, we're going to be focusing, as usual, on two of the compelling superstars in the game, each with a separate purpose here. Magic Johnson of the Lakers and Larry Bird of the Celtics.
Magic Johnson, Dick, felt last year that he gave the series away. He wants to be considered the ultimate team leader, and he felt that he failed in that regard. Bob McAdoo, his teammate, says Magic has been on a mission this season, and I believe he's going to give his all for this playoff. Larry Bird, conversely, has started out from the get-go, the exhibition games, diving into the stands for loose balls. They need his outside shooting, and they need that concentration of purpose that he provides so well.
And he's been banged up. He has an injured finger, he has an injured elbow and an injured ankle, and so how Larry Bird goes, so go the Celtics. For more on the injury story, let's go back upstairs to Brent.
All right, Dick, you put your finger on the key man, Larry Bird. Watch early if he's into his shooting rhythm. He had difficulty against the 76ers. Other injuries regarding the Celtics are, of course, Ray Williams. He turned over his ankle. He worked out yesterday. He says he is fine. And there is always Cedric Maxwell. How is his knee responding? As for the Lakers, they come into this championship series, they are healthy. They are without one player from a year ago, Jamal Wilkes, who of course missed much of the season because of an injury. So we are set to begin on the Boston Garden. It'll be game 1 of the NBA World Championship Series. It's the Celtics and the Lakers coming up on CBS.
The NBA on CBS. Today's championship game from Boston, Massachusetts is sponsored by light beer from Miller. Everything you've always wanted in a beer, and less. Honda Power Equipment. Lawnmowers, lawn tractors, and portable generators made easy and made to last. And by IBM.
Completed the warm-ups, and now for the starting lineups, let's join public address announcer Andrew Jick.
Get Josh on his headset. Josh. Jeff, you ready?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Boston Garden for Game 1 of the NBA World Championship between the Los Angeles Lakers and the defending world champions, the Boston Celtics. And now, let's meet the Los Angeles Lakers. At guard, in his 7th year from New Mexico, number 21, Michael Cooper. At forward, in his 9th year from North Carolina, number 25, Mitch Kupchak. At guard, in his 5th year from Iowa, number 12, Ronnie Lester. At forward, in his 13th year from North Carolina, the number 11, Bob McAdoo. At guard, in his 4th year from Michigan, number 40, Mike McGee. At center, in his 2nd year from North Carolina State, number 43, Chuck Nevins. At forward, in his 4th year from Howard, number 35, Larry Spriggs. And now, let's meet the starters. At forward, in his 3rd year from North Carolina, number 42, James Worthy. In his 4th year from Santa Clara, number 31, Kurt Rambis. At center, in his 16th year from UCLA, number 33, Karrem Abdul-Jabbar. At guard, in his 2nd year from Arizona State, number 4, Byron Scott. Guard in his 6th year from Michigan State, and number 32, Magic Johnson. And the head coach for the LA Lakers, Pat Riley. Now, let's meet the defending NBA World Champion Boston Celtics. Number 30, ML Carr. At guard, in his 2nd year from Mississippi, number 40, Carlos Clark. At center, center in his second year from Brigham Young, number 50, Greg Kite. At forward in his 8th year from North Carolina, Charlotte, number 31, Cedric Maxwell. Forward in his 11th year from Colorado, number 8, Scott Wedman. At guard in his 8th year from Minnesota, number 20, Ray Williams. And now let's meet the starters. From Pepperdine, number 3, Dennis Johnson. At guard in his 4th year from Brigham Young, number 44, Danny Ainge. At center in his 9th year from Centenary, number 00, Robert Parish. At forward in his 5th year from Minnesota, number 32, Kevin McHale. At forward in his 6th year from Indiana State, number 33, Larry Bird. And the head coach for the Boston Celtics, K.C. Jones.
The stage is set for another battle between these two teams, and working the games as the officials, Darrell Garretson and Jess Kersey, and Hugh Evans will be the alternate. One or the other have been the NBA champions 4 of the last 5 years. The Celtics trying to win 2 in a row. The Lakers were champs in 80 and 82. It is not a blistering hot day, an afternoon in the Garden, as the Lakers experienced in Game 5 last year. But I'm sure they've been talking, Tommy, about what it's like to come back to the parquet floor again.
No question about that, Dick. This is going to be a tempo game as far as the Lakers are concerned. The more they can push it up the court and up-pace the game, the quicker they feel they can take the big men of the Celtics out of the game.
Abdul-Jabbar and Robert Parish will jump center, and we're underway. The championship on the line, and the Lakers control. Dennis Johnson is on Magic Johnson. Ainge is on Byron Scott. They're looking for Karrem. Parish is guarding one-on-one and getting help, and Dennis Johnson commits the foul in trying to double Karrem.
When the Lakers don't have their vaunted fast break going, Mr. Inside, Mr. Set Offense is Karrem. They get him the ball and he makes it happen.
And if it isn't Karrem, it's James Worthy. Byron Scott, who's been red hot from the outside, misses his first shot. Worthy is on Bird. They go to Parish, doubled with Johnson. Open man is Ainge. Rambis, the rebound. Rambis sets the tempo early with his rebounding and defensive play.
Lakers like to come up and create the pace the first 6 minutes of the game.
Magic Johnson hitting from outside. No longer is he a weak sister from that range. McHale coming out.
Celtics should be very happy to slow it down as much as possible.
Fall away by Dennis Johnson. 2 Celtic shots went in and out, both by the guards, and here's Magic pushing it up. James Worthy. Air ball. And a loose ball foul has been called against the Lakers. And it is on Byron Scott. First foul in the ball game.
I'll tell you, the Lakers are not pushing it up as hard as I've seen them in the past for an opening game.
Well, they have less than 2 minutes going by.
They usually come out steaming on the fast break.
Karrem up high to meet Robert Parish. They're going to go low to Bird. Double team with Scott, tripled with Magic Johnson. Bird has to get rid of it. 3 seconds on the shot clock. McHale gets it. They triple team Larry Bird. Bad finger and all. Maybe they don't believe his injury report. Magic misses. Bird rebound. Celtics push it up. Dennis Johnson. Loose ball, Ainge. He has made so many big plays in the playoffs coming into this series. Now Worthy going in strong. McHale the rebound.
They're going to get whiplash in this game, it looks like.
Parish. No foul. Johnson hit the floor. Magic Johnson is fouled from behind. The basket will count. Danny Ainge tried to knock the ball away, and Magic is on the verge of a three-point play.
Ainge gives him another dimension from the inside. He'll help out on the boards, and they need this kind of help to overcome the loss of Maxwell. But look at how quickly Rambis takes it out of bounds to try and start some kind of fast break action.
Here is Irvin Magic Johnson, who has waited for this chance for a year. The loss stuck in his craw, and Pat Riley told us yesterday, I expect a big series from Irvin. Celtics are trying to get it to the inside man. But if the Lakers double and triple team, they'll go to the guards. Here's a steal by Byron Scott. Knocked away by Danny Ainge.
They've got to hustle back the Celtics to stop the speed of this Laker fast break, particularly James Worthy, who gets out on that court so fast.
Well, he's a good post-up offensive player, as we talked about on half court, and can run well. Karrem backing into Parish. And Abdul-Jabbar with his first points, and now he is 60 points away from the all-time playoff scoring record, currently held by Jerry West.
I'd say, Dick, that the Celtics very much have taken the steam out of the Lakers fast break early.
Ainge misses the layup, but there's McHale. That's what really hurt the Lakers last year in the finals, and they know about it this time. The offensive rebounding as Parish got credit for the basket. Coming right back is Magic Johnson. Johnson has 7 of the Lakers' 9 points.
Lakers look tentative, Dick.
Well, they remember the scene of the crime. It was here at Boston Garden. Dennis Johnson hits from the corner, and I know you feel that the Celtic guards cannot be left alone anymore.
Last year, they let him alone.
Loose ball foul against Los Angeles inside, and it's against Karrem, his first.
When they don't have the fast break going, Karrem gets the ball and usually makes something happen, either with a sky hook or a pass for a layup to somebody else.
8 minutes and 12 seconds to go, first period. Bird. Rambis might have gotten a piece of it, and here's a 3-on-1 break, 2-on-1. Worthy swoops in, but misses the shot. Coming back the other way, all the way, Danny Ainge. Intercepted. Bird. Bird for 2. And another offensive rebound, this time by Parish, knocked away by the Lakers, who trail by 3 with 7:40 to go in the first.
Celtics look very much prepared to stop this Laker fast break, Dick.
Scott, top of the key. This is his second shot. The Celtics have opened up their biggest lead. James Worthy going in as foul. Larry Bird is angry on that call by Jess Kersey, but you got a glimpse of James Worthy's quickness on the baseline, Tommy.
Well, it's going to be very apparent in this series because he's guarding Bird, and McHale is trying to guard him up the other end. So for an instant, he's coming up free. Here you see Worthy. Bird didn't quite get to him, and he goes up, and Bird reaches in from behind. But that matchup of speed, the Lakers have not been able to capitalize on yet.
James Worthy has become a scoring threat. He averaged over 20 points a game. He's a true frontline star now. The rebounding story, which will weigh heavily. Larry Bird gets the layup. The Celtics pushing the ball up and getting the ball up before the Lakers are getting set defensively.
Well, they'll fast break, but they don't have the speed. They push it up at you, try to catch somebody loafing. And the Lakers have been doing that. They've been loafing back.
Iron stop. Knocked away, still Laker ball. But let's tell you that rebounding story. because the team that usually does the job on the boards wins, and there you know why. Boston has the lead. A timeout, 6:54 remaining in the first period.
If you'd like to make your play for a personal computer, don't get bogged down with worries about software and expandability. Come to the IBM PC Classic. Explore the best-selling IBM PCs and the latest in IBM software and options. With prices under par, you'll have a clear shot at higher productivity. You can get things rolling at the IBM PC Classic. So, drop in. It's now in full swing at a store near you, or call your IBM representative.
At a sticker price of $59.99, this Nissan lists for $1 more than our leading competitor's standard truck. But look what you get for your buck. A bigger engine, bigger payload, a 5-speed, steel-belted radials, welded double-wall bed, all for $59.99. Nissan, it's a lot more truck for $1.
8.8% financing will save you lots of bucks on any new Nissan truck. The rate is great. The name is Nissan.
The essence of hitting. George Brett.
Some guys say it's the rhythm, reading the pitch. For me, it's a feeling that says I'm going downtown.
The essence of shaving.
This is Atra by Gillette. It pivots so the twin blades stay on your beard longer. But what Atra is all about is the feeling that says you just got Gillette's best shave.
Gillette, the essence of shaving.
Monday on Newhart.
Wow.
Does Dick have what it takes to be voted best personality?
Well, you're a little reserved.
That's English for colorless, right?
Monday.
Boston has a 6-point lead in the first period, and Tommy, I know it's still very early, but it looks like the Celtics have kind of extended their will on the Lakers in the early going.
Well, the Lakers count on really exploding in the first 6 minutes to get that pace going, and the Celtics have jammed the rebounder, really covered the outlet man, and also Magic hasn't been putting on the jets to push it up the court as much as and as fast as he can.
Playing here, is that a factor, do you think, in the Garden?
I think the Lakers are really intimidated a little bit, and they haven't reached their style yet, but they're capable of getting that break going.
Talking about the break, to see it 8-1 in favor of the Celtics on the fast break is certainly a surprise. Just under 7 minutes to go in the first period, but a long way to go and a lot of basketball in front of us. Karrem, double, finds Worthy. Parish is running the court, which is significant against Karrem. Danny Ainge has 6 points to lead the Celtics, who are up by 8 points now. Karrem, skyhook. And Parish winds up with it.
Well, they had 2-on-1 rebounding that time, the Lakers, and still couldn't hold on to the ball.
Ainge again. Well, we'll talk about Byron Scott, but Danny Ainge has given the Celtics a shot in the arm this year.
I'll tell you, for the team that is supposed to have the most speed, they're not getting back quickly on defense, these Lakers.
Karrem. And the Celtics with a 10-point lead, pushing it up again. And Karrem is being outrun by Parish. Bird misses a three-pointer. Parish follows. Out of bounds, Boston ball. Here's the shooting story early in the game, but you pointed out you saw Parish beating Karrem up the floor.
That is a big thing for the Celtics, for Parish to beat Jabbar up the court. He's going to turn him loose on the offensive board.
Johnson penetrated. He had the layup, and the Lakers come down with it, trailing by 10. Scott, strong to the basket, stuffs it through, and there is the first glimpse of the glitter break Laker team.
Well, the Western Division really has been a running division and a conference, and the East more of inside play. So I'll tell you, they know how to take the fast break away, the Celtics.
McHale, double team, basket counts and a foul. That inside game, and Pat Riley is going to his bench. He's bringing in Michael Cooper, who started all 7 of last year's games against Boston.
Here's the matchup they really count on, and McHale against Rambis. He's very tough inside. They couldn't stop him last season, and they may have difficulty this season.
Foul was on Magic Johnson.
But McHale is hustling up the court, and And because he gets up there quick and they get the ball to him quick, the Lakers can't double team him as effectively.
Michael Cooper's entrance into the game means what?
Well, he's going on Larry Bird, and they're going to try and take Larry Bird's game away from him with Cooper's defense.
Bird knocks the ball away from Scott and makes a gutty play off of Byron Scott with the toss. And the Celtics with 4:51 to go. McHale. Rambis can't handle him so far. Who can?
Now they're planning on rotating people at him and hope to tie around McHale before the end of the game.
Karrem, who has just 2 points, and now Bird pushes it. And Pat Riley wants a timeout. Listen to this crowd.
If you lived in a perfect world, you'd cook on something very like the Weber One Touch. It would give you perfect barbecue flavor because it would circulate heat like a convection oven to keep meats juicy. It would last for years, and it would clean itself with just a touch. Of course, you don't live in a perfect world, but you can cook on the perfect barbecue, the Weber One Touch. From the biggest name in your backyard, Weber.
Water beating on your car means your wax is still working. In tests, Rain Dance keeps water beating long after the other leading wax falls flat. Use longer-lasting Rain Dance, and you won't have to wax so often.
I like Krylon spray paint. Look, Krylon goes on smooth, professional. 12 minutes later, Krylon's dry to the tackle. An hour later, the other one's still wet. Krylon for a smooth, fast, professional finish.
We just found out that Booby here drinks the same beer as me, Corky, Sparky, Buck, and Boom Boom. Light beer from Miller. Now, Booby, Buck, and Boom Boom like light because it's got a third less calories than the regular beer and it's less filling, while Corky and Sparky drink it for the great taste. So Boom Boom, Buck, and Booby don't necessarily drink it for the same reason as Sparky and Corky. They all agree that light's the best beer to buy. Isn't that right, Booby?
You bet, Boom Boom.
Right, Buck?
You got it, Corky.
What about that, Sparky?
You said it, Boog.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
This one's for the national title. CUSC take on intrastate rival Pepperdine for the NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship Saturday on...
No one can seem to match up with.
Well, all three of the white jerseys are outside the three-point line. That opens up for one-on-one situation underneath McHale against Rambis. Tough matchup for Rambis, for anybody in the NBA. And watch now, Karrem comes over, not quite quick enough, and had McHale missed it, that would have given Robert Parish perfect offensive rebound position. That's the way the Celtics try and kill you, either with easy baskets or easy offensive rebounds from the weak side.
Bob McAdoo has come in, so Pat Riley is going to try and take advantage of a Celtics weakness at the bench. McAdoo is a prolific scoring threat coming off the bench, and a man that the Celtics can't really match off the bench. Maybe need McHale on it. 4:18 to go. Magic Johnson banks it in, and Irvin has 9 points in the game, and he's the only one shooting with any kind of accuracy.
Dennis Johnson is walking it up. They're not forcing the pace. And they go right at Bob McAdoo. They're going to work that matchup until the Lakers do something serious about it.
Michael Cooper commits the foul, his first, and the fourth team foul against the Lakers. One more, and they're in the penalty. 4 minutes to go in the first period. It's been all Celtics. They're up by 12, by 14. 26 to 14 now. Their biggest lead was 14.
That time, Jabbar got down there quick enough.
The Lakers don't like to play the half-court game. Magic misses. Ainge with the rebound. McHale posting up against McAdoo. There he goes. LA has a chance to run, but Byron Scott throws the ball away to Dennis Johnson. Bird finds McHale. No basket, the foul before the shot, but it's the 15th foul on the Lakers, and Kevin McHale will go to the line and shoot two.
The Celtics really sitting on the outlet pass. They know that Magic Johnson is usually the guy that the Lakers try to get the ball to, and look, Dennis Johnson just sitting there waiting for it, picks it off, and up he goes, and the Celtics have an opening of their own.
James Worthy comes back in the ball game. He has scored 1. The Celtics have not gone into their bench as of yet, with 3:23 to go in the first. And a 12-point lead for the Boston Celtics, and Casey Jones, who had a birthday cake presented to him at midcourt Saturday afternoon by the team.
Casey Jones said, this series is not a question of life or death. It's more important.
He's got a sense of humor, of course, a quiet one. Karrem gets his aim on the hook, second basket.
But the Celtics have taken a little push out of their push-up game, allowing more of the Lakers to get into the defensive flow.
Ainge on a feed from Dennis Johnson took too many steps. Keep in mind that the Lakers are used to prolific scoring. They have averaged 131 points a game in the playoffs. Right now, with less than 3 minutes to go in the first period, they only have 16.
You know, this pace that the Celtics are playing, Dick, might not be altogether too bad for the Lakers. It might end up that the Celtics get tired in the second half.
Worthy in the lane. Don't forget, we talk about the Iron Man effort by the Celtics starters. This is game 1 of the best-of-7 World Championship Series. The Lakers favored coming in here. The Celtics are the defending champions, and Boston has drawn first blood in a respect, leading 26-18 with 2:36 to go in the first period. The Lakers have scored 6 in a row. Just the start of things. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn in the championship series.
Well, the Lakers, although they didn't come out and pace the game the way they always like to, I think are very much still in this game because the Celtics pushed it up and ran. And I think some of the stamina factor that will develop, the Celtics getting tired, may develop to the Lakers' benefit in the second half.
Well, I would think that the Lakers being down by 8 points in the first period is not catastrophic for a team that can go on a pretty strong run and pile up the points on the fast break. But I think we're going to see streaks in this series throughout, and right now Boston has drawn the first blood. Turn up the heat. They like it in Boston. They don't like it so much on the Lakers side. Of course, LA looking for their first success ever against the Celtics in the championship series, and it's been all Boston.
Oh, I played in a few of those. I made a steal once.
You did a lot more than that, my modest friend.
That's the only one I remember. Is a steal in the 6th game in Kuzie's last year as a Celtic player.
It's been a frustrating experience for the Lakers. Of course, you go back to the days of the Minneapolis Lakers, and there's a familiar face who will be watching all of these games, both here and there, Boston and Los Angeles.
They wanted him to sit up in a box to protect him a little bit, but he wanted to be right behind the Lakers bench to feel like he's part of the team. That's a real fan.
Well, I think Jack Nicholson and many people regard as part of the Laker team. Scott Wedman has come in, the first man off the bench for the Celtics, and Wedman, Bird's backup and a good long and medium range shooter. Bird remains in the game.
That's a significant substitution. Casey Jones electing to go to the first big man, to Scott Wedman, rather than Maxwell.
Does that indicate Maxwell really is not full force?
Means they're going to go to the outside game more than the inside game.
Double team on Bird. Ainge is open. Danny Ainge, you got to remember, Danny Ainge was a prolific scorer at Brigham Young. You forget that he was an offensive star out there. So no surprise that Ainge has 10 points to lead the Celtics. That's before he tried his hand at baseball. McAdoo with Ainge in his shirt. Danny Ainge did a terrific defensive job on the much taller McAdoo in less than 2 minutes to go in the first period.
And Parish did a great blockout job on Karrem to get that rebound.
Bird is posting up against Worthy. He doesn't talk about that injury, so no one knows how severe it is. But Larry Bird says, well, construction workers have to go to work every day. Why can't I? Worthy gives it right back to him.
That's a tough matchup for Larry Bird because Worthy really has the quickness advantage on him and the leaping ability.
There they are. 1:24 on the clock in the first period. Lakers scored the first basket of the game, and since then it's been all Boston. Parish, foul, no basket. And Pat Riley going deeper into his bench will bring in Larry Spriggs, who started 32 games, an aggressive banging style player, kind of an enforcer.
Well, they're going to rotate those people against the Celtic big guys. Parish has gone the distance so far, and he's done an awful lot of running. And Jabbar is going to go on the bench and get a good rest. So Pat Riley trying to take advantage of a fatigue factor.
With Karrem on the bench, McAdoo becomes the center, and it's a smaller team out there for the Lakers.
And a lot faster. Spriggs is a body banger, and they're hoping that he'll be able to match wide body against wide body in the Celtics.
Celtics 0 for 4 from the free throw line. And Parish breaks that string. Wedman is guarding Spriggs. The 2 men off the bench. Ainge is on Cooper. Ainge trying to double on Magic. Cooper is a streaky outside shooter. Spriggs stripped away by Wedman. Throws the ball away, and the Lakers come back with it. Good play by Wedman, and then a turnover.
Well, Spriggs was in there to do what he was supposed to do, grab the rebound, but doesn't protect it enough as Wedman comes over. Wedman makes a poor outlet pass, but Laker possession.
He's 1 for 1.
They're trying to work the Bird matchup right now, the Lakers.
Bird picking up Magic Johnson. Feed to James Worthy. Magic with a terrific pass. 9-point lead for the Celtics. 40 seconds to go, 18 on the shot clock. Ainge for 3.
He's glad he's in the finals.
He's hit his last 5, and Danny Ainge has 13 points already. Worthy. And Parish and McAdoo. And they call a foul against McAdoo of the Lakers.
Here's what they're trying to do to Bird. They're trying to really direct their offense at him. There's a little pick and roll. Bird has to switch and turn Worthy loose, and a great pass back to Worthy. An easy hoop. Well, Bird really under the gun defensively. One of the favorite ways to try and take the points away from an offensive star is make him play a lot of defense, and the Lakers are trying to do it now.
Parish shooting 2.
This man being in the ball game at this point, however, leads me to believe that Casey doesn't have too much faith in Greg Kite. Somebody's going to end up having to play a refreshed Jabbar.
36-22, and that matches the biggest lead the Celtics have enjoyed. 11 on the shot clock. Dennis Johnson against Magic Johnson, picked up by Parish, and a pick and roll. McAdoo with the basket.
Well, the weak side of the Celtic defense are not alert to those possibilities to pick the ball off.
Ainge, 1 second. And count. What a first period for Danny Ainge, who has been averaging 11 points in the playoffs, but has 15 after 1 period, and the Celtics have a rousing lead after 1.
See this strip of metal? Watch. This is the same kind of acid that's in your...
After 1 period, the Celtics are leading by 14, and that 38 is a surprise for Boston. That's what the Lakers have been scoring with regularity in the playoffs. Danny Ainge having a superb first period. 15 points to lead all scorers, playing a fine defensive game. And don't forget, he moved into the starting lineup when Gerald Henderson was traded to Seattle, and he has delivered indeed. But this is a low score for the Lakers. What about the Lakers at this point?
Well, they might not be in as bad a shape as you think, because Parish is still in that ball game, and he is going to be getting very tired as the game progresses, while the Lakers are resting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Quinn Buckner is in the game for the Celtics as the third guard. He finds McHale. The basket counts and a foul. Boy, McHale is just tough for everybody. But with Buckner in the lineup, Tommy, that proves that maybe Ray Williams isn't ready to go as a third guard.
I would think that's a point, too, but they threw a little 1-3-1 defense at him, and the Celtics picked it apart very easily. When you get layups against that type of defense, you better not use that defense too often.
3-point play by McHale. 17-point lead. Spriggs with Worthy, Cooper, Scott. McAdoo, the center. Worthy in the lane a long time. And it'll be a Boston foul on Scott Wedman. Ray Williams is off the bench. He had injured his ankle in the final game against Philadelphia and did not work out 2 days ago, but yesterday ran at full speed. Larry Bird comes back, but interestingly enough, Robert Parish remains in the game.
I'll tell you, that one really concerns me for the Celtics. I think it's a big plus for the Lakers. Robert Parish going this long into the first half without a real significant blow.
And as you pointed out, Karrem has indeed had a long rest on the bench.
They rely on Robert Parish to hustle his tail back to protect against the fast break because Karrem doesn't run a lot. That gives him an extra defender on defense against the fast break if Parish can run hard.
1 out of 2 for Worthy. Lakers in somewhat of a trapping defense. Worthy knocks the ball away. 11 on the shot clock. Ray Williams. Penetrates. That's what he does well. Wired from the Knicks in February and has been a welcome addition.
He's been effective for them both offensively and defensively at times.
Buckner is on Scott. Good defensive player is Quinn. McHale picking up Cooper on the switch. That means Ray Williams is on Worthy, and they want to take advantage of the matchup. Cooper misses, but there's Worthy. Bird gets the rebound, and the Lakers had a golden chance there inside. Didn't convert. Parish has played all the way in this game. Gets it back from Ray. 11 for Robert Parish. 20-point lead for the Celtics. They're running it up on the Lakers in this first half. And Worthy steps on the line. Celtic ball.
Without magic in the ball game, Dick, the pace of the game for the Lakers has really slowed down.
Karrem is off the bench. He'll be coming right back in. 2 minutes gone by in the second period. Color this game green so far. The Lakers are totally out of their game right now, and they're not used to this.
Legends of the end.
That's the patented McAdoo jump shot.
I tell you, Parish has beaten Jabbar up the court every single time.
And Karrem's paid for it now. This is a key in the center matchup so far, which you just talked about.
At 38 years of age, they feel that Jabbar's stamina isn't of the greatest, and Parish is going to make him pay, going to hustle up on every trip he can.
And as a result, Karrem has picked up his 3rd personal foul. Karrem will have to sit down, and Mitch Kupchak, a banger off the bench, will replace Karrem. So the Lakers are in trouble here in the first half as Parish completes the 3-point play.
I'll tell you, Parish is picking up right where he left off from the Sixers series.
He's had a string of consistent, outstanding games. McAdoo misses, Parish the rebound. 8:35 remaining in the first half. The Celtics with a huge lead. 25 points. Bird is doubled, but he can find a cutter. Buckner with 1 second on the clock.
Boy, did they jam the rebounder that time, the Celtics. 3 guys around him.
Worthy coming back. His foul. Buckner on the personal foul. And Scott Wedman comes back in. Robert Parish has had the edge of the center matchup so far, and he goes out of the ball game with his hand.
I'll tell you, offensively, terrific rebounds, but his running has really put some heat on Jabbar.
You expect him to have the rebounding edge, Tommy, but not such a bulge in the scoring area.
Well, he's getting fast break points and good position on offensive rebounds because Jabbar is being beaten up the floor.
Dennis Johnson has come back in the game. Worthy hits the free throw. You can tell by looking at James Worthy and many of the Lakers that the humidity factor has reared its head here at Boston Garden.
Oh, come on. Come on now. It hasn't been the humidity that has them down now.
I didn't say that was the reason why. I just said you can tell by looking at it. Wedman.
An outside shot of Wedman's is going to make the Lakers come out even more to open up the inside game.
McAdoo going to the hoop. Too quick for Scott Wedman, the Celtic foul, and let's check to see who it's on. It is on Wedman, his second personal.
Well, the guy that's really under the gun on the Celtics is Kevin McHale, guarding Worthy with all that speed, trying to get to him and also trying to hustle up on the fast break, and then playing against 3 different power forwards that the Lakers intend using on him.
Saw the big shooting disparity in the second period. McAdoo open. Bob McAdoo has 6 points off the bench. 23-point lead for the Celtics. I guess they don't need a bench because maybe if they have the lead in the 4th period, they can go to the last 5 guys.
Well, the Lakers just have not developed the pace of the game that they wanted.
Bird puts a fake on Worthy. Ainge had 15 in the first period.
They want to make Bird put it on the floor, but not let him go for layups.
Mitch Kupchak fouled by McHale inside. Kupchak, they thought he would never play again. He had multiple injuries to the left knee a few years ago. Ainge has come back for Ray Williams.
Ray Williams did his job. Didn't look like he had a sore ankle. Hit a couple of beautiful outside shots. So all the guard corps responding with the good outside shooting.
Mitch Kupchak at the line.
Celtics able to rest Robert Parish here with a big lead and 7:07 to go in the half. Kupchak. Got to give him a lot of credit for coming back the way he did when no one thought he would play again.
It took a lot of determination to do that. And I'll tell you, he was one of the real board-banging forwards in the NBA before he hurt that knee. And they're hoping that he'll recapture that form. That's what they need, some wide bodies to bang with the Celtics in this series.
He's been with a championship team with the Bullets. Wedman, work the 3. Scott Wedman.
They're burning it.
Celtics can't miss, and the Lakers can't buy one.
32 points with 6 minutes to go in the half. Wow.
McAdoo is the only one doing any damage right now, with Magic Johnson doing it early in the game. Dennis Johnson. Karrem with 3 fouls. Watches a Celtic clinic at this point.
But look at Magic kind of semi-walk it up against 5 of the Celtics. They're hustling back on D, and they're taking away the fast break of the Lakers beautifully.
Dennis Johnson again. Timeout. Riley and the Lakers. And the Celtics have hit 10 of their last 11 shots.
At 63.95, you could like the all-new 1986 model.
Eastern here at Boston Garden between these two teams. Tommy, how do you think the Lakers feel coming from the Western Conference playoffs to this?
Well, that is such a fast-breaking division out there that they're not used to the body contact and the jamming underneath the boards, and they've been running that break free and easy, not really having to force to get it going. And here the Celtics have really gotten physical again, and look at Nicholson's reaction to the stopping of the fast break.
Yeah.
Oh, big yawn.
Big yawn. I tell you, this has got to be a shock for the Lakers.
Absolutely. They were really forcing their style on everybody they played until they just started in this ballgame. Wow.
Nearly halfway through the second period. Lakers are shooting 38%. They established a record shooting-wise this year. Turnover, Dennis Johnson, the Bird. Long range, short. Kupchak the rebound. And here's Magic Johnson. Ainge getting in his way. Good move by Irvin Johnson, who has 11 points and leads the Lakers.
Well, he's got to take hold right here and stabilize his team. Magic Johnson, try and get him back in. Get that break going, penetrate as much as he can.
Under 10 on the clock. Double on McHale. Open is Dennis Johnson. 3. Wedman goes for 3. Does it again. That's 2 for Scott Wedman. 2 3-point bombs, and it's a 30-point lead, and who thought of this would happen? Kupchak on a feed from Worthy.
Yeah, the Celtics are so much better outside shooting ball club this year than last year. You wouldn't believe it. Danny Ainge in that department, unbelievable, as well as Dennis Johnson has improved.
Wedman again for 3.
And of course, that man right there. Wow.
Scott Wedman has hit all of his 3-point attempts. 3. Byron Scott comes right back. We don't know if the Celtics will keep this up, but I think there'll be a lot of psychological ramifications in this game. Dennis Johnson hits the jump shot.
They are playing so loose and easy right now, the Celtics. They got the ultimate confidence.
Double on Worthy. Comes back. You know, the other day in practice, Kevin McHale said the greatest thing about this series is that people think we're the underdog. That's the best news. That fires us up. Laker foul on Scott. And here is Mike McGee making his first appearance, replacing Byron Scott, who goes out with 4 points.
I watched the Lakers come and work out yesterday. They were having a good time, a lot of laughing. I think the Celtics approached this game a little bit more in a serious vein.
McHale is fouled going inside by Mitch Kupchak, his first. Of course, the effects of one game you can always shrug off. It's just really interesting to see how the Lakers, with their great fast break, have had it taken to them in this first half.
Well, that's a matter of willpower. You got to force it. If the other team's going to take it away from you, you got to make sure you do it.
20-second timeout now.
You know, Dick, the other aspect of trying to play a pace game like the Lakers is some type of pressure defense that they have not ever incorporated into their style of play. When you play a pressure defense, that means the pace is upbeat both on offense and defense. And that's one of the little things that I think that the Lakers miss in trying to dominate pace-wise.
Well, what kind of an effect does this have on them when Pat Riley talks to them at halftime? Because this was the scene of the crime. This was the scene of their biggest nightmare when they lost games 5 and game 7 here last year. They come in as favorites. They're sky high, and they're getting blown out by 30 points in the first half.
I think Pat Riley would be very concerned about this because he said to us yesterday, game 2 and game 4 last year, that they lost games they should have won, really debilitated them and took the run out of their legs. And that's what's happening right here today. It could change their whole mental attitude and approach to the game.
4:05 remaining in the first half. We'll be hearing from Brent Musburger at halftime.
Here's the man under the gun. He's got to get them emotionally back in the game and playing with a little bit more confidence. Magic Johnson.
Worthy is trying to post up. Cooper is wide open. The front line scoring in this game, like everything else, favors Boston. No matter what numbers you put up there, the Celtics will have the edge, and rightfully so. They have played a near-perfect game so far. Double on McHale. Two-man game, and Magic read it fine. Good defense by Johnson. Goes all the way inside. Bird to Dennis Johnson. Lakers are back defensively. Ainge. McHale comes out to Dennis Johnson. Celtics in no hurry as we wind down to 3 minutes to go in the first half. Kupchak controls the rebound. 29-point lead for the Boston Celtics in their biggest lead. Worthy turnaround. McHale got a piece of it.
Boy, he said he was going to challenge him on every shot out of the low post. Go up and try and block it.
Celtics' biggest lead, 31. Wide open Bird. And he's fouled. Here's Larry Bird with all those injuries. Has a wide open shot. But he says, I'm going to go in there and challenge and draw a foul if I can. Says something about it. Timeout.
for a nice cold light beer from Miller. So I thought I'd just pop in at my favorite hangout and have one with the guys. Well, the whole gang drinks light. Oh, sure, there's a lot of other light beers around, but we all agree the light beer from Miller tastes terrific. And get this, it's less filling.
John, how many times have I told you, use the door, huh?
I forgot, I'm sorry.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Like I was saying, light beer tastes great. And another thing.
It's one thing to say you fight friction. It's another thing to prove it. Kendall Motor Oil did. First, ordinary piston rings were plated with pure gold. Then, a prestigious independent laboratory ran them under stop-and-go driving conditions for 5,000 miles. The results? Look, Kendall protected the soft gold. A remarkable test only Kendall has taken. Now, doesn't that tell you something? Kendall Motor Oil, for protection worth its weight in gold.
There's a name recognized the world over.
That's 2 for Hong Kong.
It's used more than any other.
Right, 9 a.m.
For travel, entertaining, shopping, and cash.
Curtains at 8.
8, right. No, 9. Sorry, my wife. Never mind.
Need a hand?
I could use 3. No, that's 4 nights.
Be decisive.
Visa is welcome around the world.
I married you, didn't I?
It's all you need.
Coming up at the half, they're lining up to see who will be our Coach of the Year and our MVP award winners. And Magic will tell Pat O'Brien why this year's series could be one of redemption.
That's what makes it special, because the guys are winners, and they want to come back.
And our special live guest will be the president of the Celtics, Red Auerbach.
Well, Brent, I hope he doesn't light that cigar too early. When's the earliest you ever saw a red light one of those, Tommy?
Usually in the fourth quarter sometime, but this could be over at halftime, but I doubt it. I'd say this, that the Celtics have thrown their best half that I've seen them play in playoff competition a long time at the Lakers at just the right time to psychologically affect this series. It's going to take a nice halftime talk by Pat Riley to get his team's heads back into this game and the series.
Danny Ainge with 15 is the Celtic high scorer. Parish has 14, McHale 13, and the Celtics already have 5 men in double figures. Kupchak, guarded by Larry Bird. Mike McGee has been a point-a-minute man this year for LA. Magic. 4 seconds on the clock. Worthy misses. Wedman gets the rebound.
Boy, great defense by the Celtics that time. Forced at least 5 or 6 passes around the horn, and the Lakers still did not get a good shot.
Wet spot on the floor, spotted by Darryl Garrettson. That could be dangerous, and so we have a stoppage of play. Casey Jones. 11 championship rings as a player, an assistant, and a head coach, trying to do what his buddy Bill Russell did, coach back-to-back world champion.
I'll tell you, he came up with a great defensive plan to beat the Sixers, and it looks like he's done it here in this Lakers series.
2 minutes to go, first half. Bird from Dennis Johnson. That looks like the old Magic Johnson to Jamal Wilkes play that we remember with LA, and the Celtics have established a new playoff first half record. Broke their own against the St. Louis Hawks 25 years ago. Magic misses. Worthy, he's worked hard, hasn't he, for the Lakers?
He's worked hard. He's got to give him the inside game now that Karrem is on the bench.
Karrem on the bench with 3 fouls. McHale. Out of bounds. Still Celtics.
What a great rebound by Bird that time. Watch Bird now rub his man off to the right of your screen. And Cooper was trying to play him to the outside for the jump shot, and Bird and DJ connected.
Bird. And Michael Cooper brings up a 4-on-3 break. For LA, Worthy. And a loose ball foul against the Lakers. And now, Greg Kite, who's in his second year from Brigham Young, and a big bulky player has come in the game, and Kevin McHale gets this hand as he goes to the bench with 13.
They're not enjoying it. I'll tell you, the guy that just replaced Kevin McHale, Greg Kite, might become a very important player for the Celtics before this series is over. Should Parish get into early foul trouble, this guy more than likely would be called on to play a significant number of minutes.
Cedric Maxwell is going to check into the ball game right now. He was the hero of the Celtics' 7th game win over the Lakers last year. He replaces Larry Bird, who goes out with 12 and a fine all-around effort in the first half. Celtics have set a record with 77 first-half points, breaking their own mark. Winding down to a minute to go in the half. 5 players in double figures for Boston. Tight. Knocked away. Ainge goes all the way in. McGee gets free inside and is fouled.
That was a chintzy foul, Dick. A man just stood there.
Here comes Kurt Rambis back in the ball game. He got a rebound early, but has not scored. And that early impetus that the Lakers expect from him wasn't there. James Worthy gets a much-deserved breather. He goes to the bench with 14 points, and he's been kind of a one-man gang out there lately.
Worthy is, in my opinion, one of the best power forwards, quick forwards combination in the entire league, and particularly right for the Lakers with that speed to get out on the fast break the way he does.
40 seconds remaining in the first half. 30-point lead for the Celtics. LA got the first basket, and then see you later. Dennis Johnson misses, and Rambis the rebound.
Well, it looks like Joe Frazier got Ali in the corner and on the ropes much quicker than we thought.
Let me ask you quickly here, because the situation won't change in the final seconds. If you're Pat Riley, what are you going to tell your boys?
Well, you might try, and I say try. They threw your best game. They threw their best game at you in that half. We can still come out. We got to show them that we can beat them and establish a way that we can beat them. That's a tough thing to try and get over at this point.
You think he just wants them to just come back in the game and do the right things in the second half? 2-point shot by Danny Ainge, and that does it. Listen to the crowd. You couldn't ask for a better first half if you like the Celtics, but it's only game 1. It's the largest halftime lead in any game in championship series history.
Okay, gang, let's take on the tough stuff.
And now is the
blowout as far as the Celtics are concerned here in the first half of game 1 of this NBA World Championship Series. 3 things stand out. When the Celtics hit them with that staggering blow early in the game, every important rebound was picked up by a Celtic. Number 2, defensively, they said to the Lakers quickly, you must play a half-court game. That's not the kind of game the Lakers excel at. Number 3, the Celtics' backcourt is vastly superior to what it was a year ago. Danny Ainge showing us that here in the first half. Now, for the Lakers' point of view and what they might do in the second half, let's go down to the floor now. Here's Pat O'Brien. Pat? All right, Brent, thank you. I'm standing under the scoreboard here, and this score is glaring out at the Lakers, but there's another stat that glares out at them, and that is that 8 times these 2 teams have met, and all 8 times the Boston Celtics have gone home with the championship trophy. The Lakers feel that this should be, at the very worst, 7-1. They are still stinging over last year's loss, and so this year's championship series becomes as much redemption as it does winning.
And you know that we're number 1.
In 1982, Showtime had arrived. In fact, they were predicting that this Laker team would be a dynasty, that the sounds of number 1 would ring in Los Angeles for years to come. But the next year, Philadelphia swept LA. The show would close down. And then there was last year. The conventional theory is the Lakers could have embarrassed Boston. Instead, the team looked on as Boston embarrassed LA.
It's over. The Boston Celtics are the NBA World Champions.
One of the problems with playing basketball in Los Angeles is that there is this love affair with box office success. It seems that the fortunes of a good movie and a championship basketball team are the same. Because when you have a failure, in the end, it's the stars that have to answer.
Well, we felt that really we lost it last year. We threw it away, but we're coming back strong this season.
It was pretty frustrating because there were just games that were within our grasp that we just let slip away. couple of instances, things might have went a couple of different ways, we would have been champions. Thinking about the one pass that Worthy made that turned the series around.
The Lakers call it the pass. Boston calls it the steal. It was only game 2, but those final moments would come back to haunt James Worthy.
If I had dated in the third quarter or second quarter, nobody would never remember, but it was a shot that tied the game up. And people just don't think things like that are supposed to happen in the playoffs.
You are also not supposed to lose your cool, something else that happened to LA, as Boston's head game worked almost better than its basketball game.
They enable themselves to get us to stop thinking about the game and start thinking about things that really weren't going to win the game for us, retaliation or indignation.
And then there was the Magic Johnson Act, missing crucial free throws and those critical turnovers, which did in fact turn over the series. The one the critics and Magic couldn't forget was having James Worthy open and not getting him the ball in the final moments of Game 7.
Those things always come back. You replay the game and you see him wide open and you say, man, and then you just wake yourself up, hey.
For a full year now, this has been the LA cry, wanting Boston, but really wanting redemption.
We really want to win it this year, and we're going to go out and play with all of our heart and all our desire, and hopefully that intensity will turn breaks into our favor this year. No maybe this time. A winner. The winner. The champion. That's it.
Magic Johnson feeling a little better than he's got to feel now. As for now, that monkey has crawled right back on their backs as we are getting blown out here in the first half. Let's send you back upstairs now to Brent Musburger. Brent?
All right, Pat, and of course, high above the rafters here, the Boston Garden are the numbers of the Celtics that have been retired. Lower right-hand number there on the left, number 2. That is not a player, folks, but that's the most important man as far as this franchise is concerned. My good friend and the president of the Celtics, Red Auerbach. Red, that was an incredible display here by your team in the first half.
Well, I thought they did a fantastic job defensively, and then the offense took off from the defense. But there's no getting away from it. The Celtics hit phenomenally well. They really did.
Red, what about the difficulty of repeating? Why hasn't any team in the NBA been able to do it since '69?
Well, I think you have a more of a parity of the teams. That's number one. Number two, every game is a tough one, and everybody is laying for you. You know, after you win a championship, they're all gung-ho to beat you. But I think one of the most important things is the draft. You now get 23rd, 24th pick, plus injuries. When everybody is gunning for you and every game is a tough game, you're bound to have some injuries. And I think that's the key thing.
Have the high salaries changed the focus at all in the game?
No, I don't think so. I think the guys that get the high salaries, believe it or not, have the most pride. They're out there, for example, Larry Bird or Kevin McHale, they're the only two I'm not familiar with. The more you pay them, the more they show that they have to earn it, and I'm very happy for them.
Red, this year, instead of the normal 2-2 and then 1-1-1 configuration, we've got 2-3-2. Now, you have the home court. Are you in favor of this plan? How will it change our championship series?
Well, it could change it a lot, because if a team comes in and happens to win one, they got a great psychological edge, because they say, who wants to go 3,000 miles cross country? Let's go all out 100%. Not that they don't, but they say, let's go all out 100% and not make that long trip. You say, so psychologically, if you can win one, you got a big edge.
All right, Red, sit right here. When we come back, we're going to take a look at our most valuable player and our coach of the year, and then Red Auerbach will look in on a couple of plays in the Celtics' awesome first half. Have to meet our Miller Lite coach and player of the year in the NBA. And to do the honor for us, let's turn it over to Sam Bell-Navis.
Light Beer from Miller is proud to present these awards benefiting the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. The NBA Player of the Year, as selected by CBS Sports, is Larry Bird of the Boston Celtics. In winning this award for the second straight season, Larry continues to show the talent and drive that has made him one of the greatest ever to play the game. In addition to this trophy, Larry, Miller Brewing Company will make a contribution in the amount of $5,000 to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society in your name. Congratulations.
Thank you, Sam. I would like to thank CBS Sports and Miller Lite for this award. I am happy to be involved with the fight against multiple sclerosis.
The NBA Coach of the Year is Don Nelson of the Milwaukee Bucks. In what was supposed to be a rebuilding year, Nelson's Bucks won a 5th straight Central Division title. Nelly accepted the award in Milwaukee.
Thank you, Sam, CBS Sportscasters, and Light Beer from Miller. A special thanks for my ball club for all the teamwork that they displayed throughout this season and the teamwork we've always had in our front office. A special thanks to my assistant coaches, Mike Schuler and Gary St. Jean, who actually did most of the work.
Light Beer from Miller will also make a $5,000 donation to the National Multiple Sclerosis Society in Coach Don Nelson's name. Congratulations.
That's not bad. You draft one, you coach the other, you had both the awards there.
You get embarrassed when you see things like that every once in a while. But I'm very happy for them. Nelson did a fantastic job. But I'm going to say this. Nelson played for us. He did a super job, as I said. But for somehow or other, a guy like Casey Jones was overlooked. And when you have the best record in the league 1 year, and then you have nothing coming in out of the draft, and the following year you have the best record again, not to get any recognition. What have you got to do?
Casey told me, he said, I don't care, just give me another world championship.
That's right, that's right.
Red, let's take a look at Danny Ainge. I thought he had a spectacular first half for the Celtics.
Yes, he did.
Now watch Danny on defense here as Worthy comes swooping in.
He gets the rebound, and he looks down court, just as the Lakers do. The Lakers have a super fast break. I think we kind of took them in shock. Now that time there, when Danny came barreling in, he faked a pass to the outside, having the men drop off to the sides, and then he laid it right in. It was very, very good deceptive play.
Red, the Celtic defense has forced the Lakers into playing a half-court game, as we'll see here, and Los Angeles is not comfortable with it.
Well, to be very honest about it, the Lakers have not been hitting. If they had been hitting, it might have changed the Celtics' plans. But they did play up on certain people, not giving them that shot. They'll let Magic penetrate if he could so do, and they would not more than double team Jabbar. They wouldn't triple team him where everybody is free and he could do what he so desires.
When's the earliest you ever lit up the cigar?
I tell you, you know, I'm of the old school. It's not over till it's over.
It's not over till it's over, Red. Thank you very much for being with us. But he's rather comfortable right now, folks, and we'll be back with the second half. The Lakers and the Celtics.
Series history, the Celtics by 30 over the Los Angeles Lakers at halftime, and here are two of the reasons why. Red Auerbach talked about the Lakers not hitting. They weren't, but look at what Boston did to the tune of 62% and fast break points. And you could have put that in the book of the Lakers before this started. 21-8. Boston has the big edge. The leading scorers, James Worthy for the Lakers. He's worked very hard. Danny Ainge has been sensational in the first half with 17. The key to the Celtic 30-point lead, Tom.
They played perfect basketball, particularly defensively in stopping the Lakers' fast break. They got over the rebounder, they got over the outlet man, and it allowed just enough time for the other defenders of the Celtics to get back and jam it up. Plus, Robert Parish hustling back gave him a 5-on-4 defensive advantage over offense.
If you're Pat Riley, you say, look, let's just start like it's 0-0 and see what we can do in the second half. We lose, but let's get back into it.
I'd be very concerned if I was Pat Riley to try and get these guys heads into this ball game and at least win this half and play the style of basketball he knows they're capable of.
The big center matchup in the first half. Karrem was 2 for 6. Byron Scott was 2 for 8. Who expected 4 of 14? From Scott and Karrem, but that's the way it is, and we start out the second half.
And they're up pressing a little bit, or at least trying to make them walk the ball up the court.
Danny Ainge finds Parish.
Same team!
Celtics got a little cold toward the end of that first half. See how the Lakers start out here in the second. It's just one half of one game of this championship series, but it was decisively in Boston's favor. Magic fires it up. Good save by Dennis Johnson. Alley-oop doesn't work to McHale.
McHale had hustled up there.
Working against Dennis. I'll tell you, Dennis Johnson really stops Magic Johnson's penetration.
Yeah, but Robert Parish was sitting there waiting to help out on any penetration. A big key there in that first half defense.
Karrem rarely misses from that close in. Well, Parish has been sky high for the last 2.5 series. Dennis Johnson. He's in double figures. That makes 6 for the Celtics in this game.
You know, I don't think the Lakers expected the Celtics to fast break as much as they have been and use those pull-up jumpers as effectively as they have been.
Karrem will go at it again. Makes good on the sky hook. That's only the 6th point for Abdul-Jabbar.
38 years of age. A lot of stamina required to play a base game with a lot of muscle the way he's required in this series.
Steal by Byron Scott will challenge Dennis Johnson. Good move by Byron Scott, and so far we haven't seen the Scott of this year yet. We will in the playoffs before it's over for sure.
A lot of teams go down and double Jabbar and leave Scott wide open. The Celtics have elected to keep Ainge glued to him.
Bird for 3. About the inside game, the Celtics can just bomb away. Scott Wedman had 3 of those in the first half.
And that's going to be a good sign for them come the second game.
Scott inside. Parish another rebound.
The game plan of the Lakers for the second game will be, let's take away the outside shot. Going to give a lot of passing room to the big guys of the Celtics.
2-on-1 break. Scott will pull up with it. Byron Scott.
Look, Parish was right there to stop any penetration.
Going to call a push on James Worthy as he helps Larry Bird up from the floor.
Here's a little defensive intimidation. And watch Scott and McHale right there. He's a good shot blocker, but look how nicely all the bigs of the Celtics come and converge for the rebound.
Things figure to heat up at Boston Garden Thursday night. Game 2 of this championship series. 9 o'clock Eastern, live right here on CBS Sports. Tom, the new format, 2-3-2, Red Auerbach had an opinion. What's yours about the...
If I was a coach, I wouldn't like it because you can potentially, with the home court advantage, end up losing the winning coach, the guy with the supposed home court advantage, end up losing the series before you ever enjoy the home court advantage.
I don't know if I agree with that view. I know a lot of people feel the way you do.
Well, I'm not paying you. You don't have to agree with me.
Larry Bird, off balance. McHale fights inside. Those are kind of offensive rebounds that the Lakers are not going to allow the Celtics to get in this series if they're going to win this thing.
If they keep allowing McHale to get in there, but he's really so nifty around the hoop, and those long arms goes over everybody.
Parish. Rambis. Outlet pass good to Scott. Another pull-up and another basket for Byron Scott, who has found his shooting eye. He has 10 points in the game and 6 so far in the third, and we have under 9 minutes to go.
Well, key thing here for the Celtics is to keep the pressure on the Laker defense and not walk it up the court.
Parish, turn around short, and a bad pass. Those are the kind of mistakes that the Lakers don't need at this point. The Celtics take over.
They are doing an outstanding job of getting over the rebound for the Celtics and forcing bad outlet passes.
And as you said, they've been jamming everybody inside. 8.5 remaining, third period. Ainge finds Bird. You can't ask for a better pass than that.
That was a breakdown of a play and a heads-up reaction by Danny Ainge to Bird.
Bird has 17. He and Ainge tied for the scoring lead in this game. Karrem and Larry Bird came around from the weak side to knock it away. Lakers come out with it. They have a 3-on-1. Parish the only one back. And Karrem makes some pay. Dennis Johnson slow getting up. Don't forget, he kind of pulled a calf muscle, and now Byron Scott and Danny Ainge have to be separated. Magic gets involved, and we knew sooner or later we'd have one of these.
Well, when you get in a potential blowout situation like this, tempers do flare. I didn't see how it started, but Ainge is really hot at Byron Scott. Threw the ball off the back of his jersey. Let's see, maybe we can see it here. Ainge really trying to block Scott off. Now he gets the ball and throws it at him. So it must have been happening on a rebound action. Look at Magic trying to cool Ainge down, and he'll have none of it. Worst thing you can do is grab another jersey and hold them, because that's when people start coming at you, even though you're trying to be the peacemaker.
Technical foul on Danny Ainge, being calmed down by Darryl Garrettson.
Now watch Scott come up behind Danny Ainge and just nudge him, and I guess it was a little bit more than a nudge in Danny's mind. But of course the officials don't see those. They did see Ainge throw it off Scott's back.
So Magic misses. First flare-up of sorts in this championship series. And you remember, we had 2 of them last year. Remember at the beginning, we talked about how the Lakers have to stand up to the Celtics confrontation and the ability to use the muscle. And there you saw how the Lakers did it and what Ainge did.
Now, Pat Riley must have given him the ball.
Oh, what a touch pass by Larry Bird flying. Huh.
I think Pat Riley gave him the new Rockney talk. Let's get physical, guys.
Karrem comes right back with 2. Larry Bird with a blind touch pass inside.
That's one of the best parts of a forward's game. He can do stuff like Bird just did.
Slapped away by Rambis. Still Celtics ball. 12 seconds on the shot clock.
They have not successfully really attacked Kevin McHale, these Lakers.
8 on the clock. Screen from Bird. Dennis Johnson misses. But there is Ainge on the other side. Fires it.
And look at all the Celtics back to stop the break. Get a rebound and nothing out of it.
Worthy going in. Blocked inside. McHale had a piece of that one. Credit him with the defensive play on Worthy. Dennis Johnson is limping. Slow coming up court. Johnson. And now Ainge and Magic Johnson yelling at each other. And Magic has some words for Jess Kersey.
I'll tell you, Robert Parish, Dick, made that play with his running up the court once again, beating Jabbar by half the length of the court.
Magic Johnson. 13 for Johnson. Going inside, the basket is good by DJ.
Parish, who has beaten Jabbar way up. That allows Danny Ainge to sneak open. And watch this little fracas here, a little bumping.
Lakers to stand their ground against the Celtics. They're way behind. Do you think that they're really getting mean out there?
I think they have to get that mean attitude. When they set a pick, make sure it sticks. And when they go and block off on the boards, make sure the contact is there and stays there. So I think they're trying to physically assert themselves, and they need to do it.
How come you're elbowing me every time there's contact over there?
Because I want to get the boards, baby.
You can
get out of my way. That's what you got to be thinking about right now. It's my ball. Stay out of my way. And I think that's the type of attitude that Pat Riley's trying to get over to his Lakers right now to climb back into this game.
Here is Dennis Johnson, who has been a money player throughout these playoffs, and actually last year too. 30-point lead again. That's what we had at halftime. This is game 1, best of 7 for the World Championship. Whistle and illegal defense called against the Boston Celtics. The first one. The second one will be a technical foul. KC pleading his case. It's a warning. Worthy. Baseline, 16 points for James Worthy.
I'll tell you, the Celtics have loosened up their defense significantly here in this quarter.
Celtics playing the half-court offense with under 6 minutes to go in the third. Bird. Smothered by Worthy. McHale inside. Larry Bird, 17.6 rebounds and now 9 assists in the ball game, has really gone back to form in this contest. He had slumped in the playoff series. Miss inside, Karrem. Well, he's mad on that.
Now that fell into his hands with a good rebound block out that time by Rambis. Bird almost had it.
You don't often see Karrem, though, slam it through like that.
Well, he's getting mad. He didn't play too well in the first half. He's really getting beaten up the court.
Parish shooting over him. And Worthy, the rebound. Parish coming back in. Rambis. Karrem didn't even come up court that time, and Parish was back on the D.
Either did Larry Bird, so he may be getting a little bit tired. McHale hustled up, but was way late.
That's the other point, the Iron Man approach. Starters playing 40 or more minutes. Celtics, though, have moved out to a tremendous lead. Oh!
Larry Bird. They have run that play successfully now 3 times, and the Lakers haven't caught on. They're getting beat. They're trying to read a play that isn't there.
Into Karrem, doubled. Rambis gets free. Well executed by LA. They found the open man. 4:11 to go in the third. McHale inside against Rambis. No way. 28-point lead for the Celtics. They have maintained their advantage, basically, here in the third period. And the turnover.
I'll tell you, that was a real show of how tired Jabbar was. Lost all strength in the grip of the ball.
Rambis ends up in the Laker bench with the save, and Worthy stuffs it through. This is a little bit of a glimpse of the Lakers' showtime, which they have not been able to put on much today.
I tell you, they can come back with a lot of points in a hurry, but they dug themselves a big hole in that first half.
Less than 3.5 to go in the third.
I'll tell you, the Celtics are getting a little bit tired themselves.
8 on the shot clock. Bird, double team. And it's last touch by Parish, and so the Lakers take over. Uphill climb, and a big uphill climb in the heat of Boston Garden in Game 1. Best of 7 for the NBA Championship, Game 2, Thursday night at 9 on CBS.
The Lakers had a press defense. This would be the time to try and use it.
Off the hands of Robert Parish. David Stern, commissioner of the NBA, watching Game 1, and now the Lakers want a timeout with 2:59 to go in the third period. Our story in the third period, the Boston Celtics leading McHale and Bird and Ainge, each with 19 points in the game. 6 Celtics are in double figures. No one has solved McHale, and Danny Ainge has really emerged as a pressure player in these playoffs.
This man, with his competitive urges, I'll tell you, he comes out and he did not let this Celtic team come into this series in a haphazard way. He's really focused their emotions for this final series.
And a foul against the Celtics. Their first team foul. Scott Wedman has come into the ball game. That's not Scott, that's Jan Volk, the general manager of the Celtics. But Wedman is in the game, and he shot 4 for 4, including 3 3-pointers in the first half, as the Celtics got a surprising 22 solid minutes from their bench. Scott misses, Ainge the rebound. And a Laker foul in the backcourt. Michael Cooper coming back in, replacing Kurt Rambis.
Well, they're going little now. That means that Cooper probably going to guard Wedman to try and take away the outside shot.
McHale inside. Count the basket, and they'll go to the line.
They were going into that 1-3-1 defense, and the Celtics caught them before they had totally set it up. Watch Danny Ainge, heads-up play to McHale, who was just unmolested underneath there. Goes up, gets fouled. I tell you, the Celtics are so alert to opportunities in this game. They played near perfect in that regard.
Cedric Maxwell coming in now. Fortunately for the Celtics, they don't need him in this game. Just trying to continue to get his legs back. Hasn't been able to jump. Cooper. Misses outside. Cooper came in, committed the foul at the other end. Misses here. And the Celtics controlling it with 2:25 to go, leading 102 to 73. Scott Wedman, 5 for 5 today.
When you got a fourth man coming up like that, and your defender drops below the foul line, Wedman's going to score.
Karrem guarded by McHale. Dennis Johnson working on him too. And McHale pushes it before the shot. That'll be a non-shooting foul. McAdoo coming in the game. McAdoo has had injury problems the last 2 years in the championship series. He's healthy this time around.
I tell you, his loss in the final game last year was a big factor for the Lakers not winning it, in my opinion. He had been a big factor until then.
Karrem getting a rest. Spent a lot of this game on the bench. Magic going in is fouled and will shoot. Now, one thing, Tommy, the Celtic front line has stayed out of foul trouble very effectively in this game.
That is totally surprising to me, and particularly Robert Parish, who has to guard Mr. Automatic 2 points from the inside Jabbar. Normally, anybody that guards him picks up a quick three, and at least in the first half. Here he is with only, what has he got, one? That's pretty good defense. I think that's the smartest thing that Parish has done in all the series to date, is not get in foul trouble. It has allowed them not to have to go to the bench.
Under 2 minutes to go in the third period. In fact, no Celtic front liner in the starting lineup has 2 fouls. McHale. He's hit.
When the Lakers use this alignment, the 1-3-1, the Celtics have kind of buried that in prior series. They're just waiting for them to use that defense. First half, they really killed it, and now they're getting fouls on the inside. They got a couple of layups before against them.
A glum day for the Los Angeles Lakers, who sailed through the West by 20 games in the Pacific Division, and then ran a rough shot in the playoffs. Danny Ainge will get a hand as Ray Williams replaces him. 19 for Mr. Ainge. 5 rebounds along with 6 assists.
There were people in Boston that said Danny Ainge couldn't play. They're probably keeping their mouth shut now.
They meant football. Magic Johnson on the feed. There's the time remaining in the third period. Celtics set a record, most points and a half of a championship series, 79. They're well over 100 now. Blocked by McAdoo. 3-on-2 for the Lakers. Scott all the way. Doesn't get the roll. Boy, when you don't get the 3-on-2 and you're the Lakers, something's wrong.
They slowed him down, the Celtics.
Dennis Johnson misses, and there's long arms. Oh, long arms.
Oh, long. They call him Lurch.
That's right. Riley can just sit and watch. Magic. McHale has 26.
What a great job on the boards he's been doing. I think he's a little tired, Richard.
Well, they're going to have time to rest some people because the Celtics have maintained their halftime advantage, which was important here in the third.
The motto of the Celtics have always been, hey, go as hard as you can for as long as you can. Don't save yourself, and they sure have done it here today.
Fast break, Los Angeles. And Magic Johnson all the way. He has 19. Sort of a derisive cheer from the Boston fans. Laker fast breaks few and far between. But I'll tell you what, that ought to really rev up the Lakers for game 2. And they got 3 at the Forum. So, a long way to go here. Ray Williams winding down the clock. 4 seconds. 2 seconds. Johnson doesn't count. And that's the end of the third period with the score. The Celtics 108, the Lakers 79. And we'll return after this word.
Whoa!
Hanson the steal.
Oh! Well, the defense asleep and then drove it all the way. John Danny dumps it. Oh! Tip pass, throw it to Maxwell.
Moses again. Look at that shot. He's spun up and in. Jones wanted it, but Magic wants it more. Dribble behind the back. Oh, what a play! Slam dunk. Jordan driving all the way
game. It's fantastic.
The NBA on CBS. Today's championship game from Boston, Massachusetts is sponsored by Miller Beer. Miller made the American way since 1855. Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products. Schick Disposable, the disposable razor made to stay sharp and shave close, shave after shave after shave. And by Armor All. It's science, but it works like magic.
It's been kind of a surprise to many people who thought the Lakers would come in here and run away with the game. It's been the other way around. As we start the fourth period at Boston Garden, Dick Stockton along with Tom Heinsohn. It's the Boston Celtics who have run rampant on the LA Lakers. They had a 30-point record halftime lead and have lost only 1 point of that. And the Celtics are putting on a clinic, playing a near-perfect game. And Kevin McHale has been the high scorer with 26 points, 13 in the third period.
I'll tell you, and some excellent running to help stop some of the fast breaks of the Lakers.
Bob McAdoo misses, and then the rebound for Parish. That's his 8th. Parish has outplayed Karrem, who got into foul trouble early and is waiting for another day.
Well, I want to see what the Celtics do with Maxwell here, because he could be a key figure later down the road.
Here's a guy who hasn't missed today, Scott Wedman, who is 6 for 6 as you look at 4 of the starting 5 for the Celtics, getting a breather in the heat of Boston Garden. Spriggs in the ball game for the Lakers. Parish. He's not talking to the media, and if he plays like this, I don't think the Celtics or anyone would care, do you?
I don't think so. Robert Parish was a little upset about it. They demeaned him during the season as soon as anybody said he was MVP.
3 starters on the bench for the Lakers, but Scott Wedman is 7 for 7 from the field. 17 points for Scott Wedman, who last year also got hurt in the latter stages of the series. Larry Spriggs inside for LA, 112 to 81. Dramatic turn of what was anticipated here in game number 1.
You know what surprised me more than anything else, Dick, is the Celtics appeared to have intimidated the Lakers coming into this game.
No basket, but a foul.
The reason being is they came in and took away normally what is the best part of the Lakers game, the first 6 minutes where they pace it like a racehorse, and all of a sudden they were totally tentative, like should we run or shouldn't we run? And I can only attribute that to a little intimidation.
Well, you said the first 6 minutes of the game is when the Lakers like to fly, and they just couldn't get off the ground, and their wings were clipped, and that set the tone for the entire ball game.
Well, the forwards got out there, but they didn't push the ball up the court. Magic wasn't zipping it up like he normally does.
McAdoo, 5 fouls, and Robert Parish will go to the line. McAdoo vehemently disagrees with that.
This man here, he just didn't finish my thought before about him not talking to the press. He's a quiet guy around here, and he feels he gets maligned at times because he doesn't have all those scoring stats. But really what's been going on is that their key low-post player has been Kevin McHale, so his opportunities haven't been that great to score, and he feels that the press up here doesn't understand it. So all of a sudden he plays a great series against Philadelphia, and they're touting him as MVP, and he says, why did you wait so long?
James Worthy, top of the key. 2 minutes gone by in this fourth period.
I'd like to see Maxwell for the Celtics get involved in the offense, if possible.
What about the Lakers? Who do you want to see get in the offense for them? Ray Williams on the fake. Wedman crashing the boards, comes down in the hands of Bob McAdoo. Spriggs fighting for the loose ball, but it's Buckner who comes down with it. Parish.
Boy, is he running, Robert Parish.
You talk about magic, a man on a mission. Robert Parish has been a man on a mission in this game.
If Maxwell can get a little confidence, if they go to him every once in a while, it'll be a big factor for the Celtics. Now, right now, the Lakers are just trying to get their heads into this series a little bit better.
McAdoo.
Wide open style. Spriggs running up, filling the lanes. Pat Riley looking to see if any of these guys will really get out and battle. They're looking for the tough people right now.
Quinn Buckner. Pat Riley has to be thinking of Thursday night, I think, even now. 8.5 to go in the final period, 118-85. Larry Spriggs hits from outside.
You know what coaches say, Dick? I don't care whether we lose by 30 or by 2. And most of the times they mean that. You lose. But this thing here has been an intimidating game for the Lakers.
It's still Celtic ball as Mitch Kupchak comes back in the game on a timeout. 8:13 to go. Rebounding has been the key. That was the story last year. 6 of 7 teams that won the boards won the game. And today, here's the rebounding story. Boston has the edge, 38-30. But as we go to the final 8 minutes of this ball game, here's a man who could be key in whatever Pat Riley wants to get across to his team for game 2.
Well, if he wants to be recognized as the ultimate team leader, this is the occasion, the following game, that he's going to have to show that he is the leader. He's got to pick this club up emotionally. They all look to Magic, and he's got to come into that game with total enthusiasm and execution.
He only has 1 rebound today, which is low for him. As far as Karrem goes, I just think he was whipped by Robert Parish. It was a no contest, unanimous decision. He'll come back for another day, you know that.
Well, all Robert Parish and the Celtics did to Karrem was work on his 38-year-old body up and down the court, make him run, make him hustle it up, make him run as hard as he could, and he couldn't answer that call.
Ray Williams. And Spriggs gets the rebound. Fast team out there for the Lakers. Michael Cooper driving is fouled by Quinn Buckner. Cooper is going to the line now. Now, last year he started all 7 games at guard. Byron Scott came off the bench. And Larry Bird has said he does the best defensive job on me. But Cooper doesn't start, so Bird doesn't have to worry about him at the start of the game.
Well, Worthy is a much finer offensive player than Cooper, and the emergence of Scott in the backcourt is where Cooper really did start last year in the series, has now reduced him to a backup man. But Worthy can play pretty decent defense on Bird.
Well, Cooper was starting in the backcourt, but guarded. In other words, they have those guys playing different spots.
Right. And that was part of the strategy of getting Worthy out quick on the fast break, too. He was playing guard defensively.
Under 8 minutes to go. Mike McGee is on Buckner. Harris still in there, and a pass goes out of bounds. Lakers ball. 118-89.
You know, when Cooper plays Bird, though, their answer to that is to take him underneath or pick him off outside. He was worn out by the end of the series last year.
Spriggs looking for Kupchak inside. Celtics front line, hardly any fouls today. McGee misses. Maxwell the rebound. Good opportunity, as you pointed out, for the Celtics to get Maxwell in the flow. They're going to call goaltending on Michael Cooper. Credit the basket to Buckner.
The reason I'm looking at Maxwell is because if they have to go into the bench, the Celtics, Maxwell has normally been their answer. And with him not being 100%, somebody else has got to do the job. But he's had the most experience and has responded to the challenge of playoffs before very nicely.
Greg Kite comes in, and a hand for Parish as he goes out. The yelling Chief. What a game for the Chief.
He did it again, and did it the same way he did it to Moses, just hustling him up the court.
18 points and 8 rebounds for Robert Parish, and there's a rebound for Greg Kite. Went to the same school as Danny Ainge, Brigham Young. He's in his 2nd year and did not play much this season. Wedman. 8 for 8 for Scott Wedman. Remember Game 6 when the Celtics eliminated the Pistons. Wedman hit his first 7 shots. He's got 19. Kupchak beats Kite inside.
But I felt somebody would have to come off the bench and play very, very effectively, and Wedman answered that call. And Pat Riley was nervous that Wedman would do exactly what he did.
He told you that. broadcasters, don't tell me the Celtics don't have a bench. We're worried about Scott Wedman. He had good reason. 19 for Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn back live at Boston Garden, where it's been a kind of a celebration, though it beat Game 1 for the Celtics, who are leading by 31 points in the fourth period. Game 2, 9 o'clock Thursday. 9 o'clock Eastern time Thursday right here at Boston Garden. Remember last year, Tommy, the Lakers blew out the Celtics by 33 in game number 3, and the Celtics came back to win a big one. A few years ago, Boston won by 40 in game 1 against Philly. Teams come back from these.
Psychologically, blowouts tend to give the advantage to the team that got beaten badly. And I think this is no exception. And the Lakers are perfectly capable of coming back and getting that fast break going and causing the Celtics a lot of trouble.
Height inside, fouled. Well, Jack Nicholson
is waving ML Carr's towel. Watch this. He's throwing the towel back to ML.
You know, I'll tell you, he has a good time. I know he wants his Lakers to win. He's having a good time today in any event.
ML got the towel back. Look. You didn't want my towel.
ML Carr is the towel-waving, motor-mouth head cheerleader of the Boston
He gets
Celtics.
more said for a little playing time than any guy I've seen in years. In fact, Casey Jones, you kind of worry about all these guys chatting away. But ML is kind of the spirit behind this ball club and razzes them into really playing their best. Look at that. Oh, how terrible. Look.
Greg Kite threw up an air ball from the free throw line. And now the Celtics are giggling. Meanwhile, the Lakers are grim right now. But they'll be back. Mike McGee hits a three-pointer from outside. Quinn Buckner banks it in. The Celtics ran off a 38-24 first period lead. And it's been quiet for the Lakers. And they just have to sit through the Celtic fans, who have had a lot to cheer about today. And ML Carr, they get the biggest cheer of them all when he checks in a moment.
And Nicholson's saying, go get him, ML.
Spriggs misses.
I think that's what he was saying.
Wedman. What a game. 9 for 9 for Scott Wedman. 21 points in all, including 3 three-point shots. Spriggs.
You know, all the good outside shooting that the Celtics displayed today is going to make Pat Riley, when he looks at the films, rethink doubling the low post people for the next ball game.
Good point.
And more that Whitman hits from out there, the more that Riley's going to be thinking about it.
10 for 10 and 4 three-pointers. And Mike McGee comes back. What are we watching, the Denver Broncos or what here?
A long bomb.
Under 5 minutes to go. 130 points, but more important, the Celtics have held the Lakers to 97 here in the fourth period. And Wedman is unconscious. He is 11 for 11 from the field. Height the rebound on McGee's miss. What a Memorial Day these fans have had here at Boston Garden. They may not all be like this, but today they'll remember.
As Maxwell kicking the ball back out.
Ray Williams.
A real indication to me when he got the ball in that low post position and kicked it back out with only one man on him that he doesn't think he's ready.
And Kupchak gets it inside as they trade baskets. Well, most of the starters on both teams are resting up, getting ready for Thursday's game. Celtics have this game salted away. Wrapped up. That was Maxwell with his first basket. And a timeout by the Lakers. With the Celtics leading by 37 points and 3:50 remaining in this ball game, and Scott Wedman having that kind of a game. Tommy, with all the facts of the team coming back after getting blown out, the Lakers last played here, lost the championship, and this is the last thing, though, that they really kind of hoped would happen.
They thought they'd be able to come in here, particularly after the great games that they played against Denver and blow the Celtics out. Instead, it's gone the other way. I'd be very interested to see how the Lakers respond to this blowout. Last year, when it happened to the Celtics, they got mad, locked the locker room door, talked to nobody, and just said there, the world is against us, we're going to beat you all. I want to see if the Lakers come back with that type of attitude.
McGee with the basket. ML Carr in the kite. Carlos Clark is in the ball game, and Greg Kite on a feed from Clark. That's the NBA record for a championship game, and the Celtics are 4 away from that. Rambis. And it's still Laker ball. Tommy, the Celtic bench today has shot 18 of 22 from the field.
Well, when one guy goes 11 for 11, that's pretty good in itself.
Yeah.
But I'd say this, that right now both teams are looking for guys that will help them. Who is going to be the sharpest? Whose heads are into the game enough? Should they need to be called on? Particularly Maxwell for the Celtics, and perhaps Spriggs and Kupchak for the Lakers.
That was McGee as a chance for the three-point play. He makes it. Worthy with 20 leads the Lakers. Magic Johnson 19. Karrem only 12. Got into foul trouble early. Just one of those games for the great center of the Lakers. 10 on the shot clock. Carlos Clark gets into the act. Second-year guard from the University of Mississippi.
They thought he'd eventually end up their third guard, but he couldn't hold down the job offensively, so they got Ray Williams.
2.5 to play. Rambis inside. Ronnie Lester has also come in for the Lakers. Point guard, insurance point guard man. Has had his knee problems. He's guarding Carlos Clark out now. 2:15 to go in what has been a Boston Celtic barrage. Whatever it is, this ancient arena, the parquet floor and all, seems to perform magic for the Celtics, who will be 9-0 at home in these playoffs. Fast break, Boston. And Spriggs wouldn't let it happen for Greg Kite.
Well, that's the type of thing Pat Riley's looking for. No quit, baby. Even though they're getting blown out, nobody gets a layup like that. Great hustle by Spriggs.
ML Carr is short. Celtics' next basket will give them an NBA championship series record. Spriggs comes back.
Spriggs, Mayfield has a lot of confidence after he started a number of ball games this year, and they're looking to him to really perhaps provide some muscle along with Rambis against these bigger Celtics.
That's how much time remains in the game. Kite, hook shot, and that breaks the record. The Boston Celtics have set a record for the most points in one game in a championship series. They had established the mark of 142 against the Lakers in '65, and they have broken it here.
Well, when you play against a team that threw a perfect game at you for a half, and I'm sure Riley will make that point tomorrow at practice, all you have to do is say, let us get to our game, how we play best.
How about a perfect game for 4 periods, Tom?
Yeah, well,
just about.
They were even Steven in the third quarter, in my opinion, but the game was won in the first half when, I think much to the surprise of the Lakers, they had their fast break taken away.
Mike McGee. 13 points now.
That's what determines champions, is the willpower to force what you want to have done.
That's what the Lakers are going to have to do with their style.
That's when you talk about mentally tough players and teams.
And that's why a lot of people talk about Celtic intangible. That's just fact. Kupchak and Rambis get the rebound, under a minute to go. McGee shuffles it in to Spriggs. Well, the Lakers are going to have a couple of days to work out and to talk this one over, exercise this game from themselves, whatever it takes, and Pat Riley is going to have to be the psychologist.
It's not going to be a happy couple of days here in Boston for the Lakers getting ready for that next game.
Carr with a three-point shot. And a foul. Scott Wedman, who hit 4 3-pointers and is 11 for 11 from the field, is the best ever shooting in a championship game. So it's been a record-breaking, record-shattering performance by the Boston Celtics. But Tommy, when it goes in the books, it'll just be 1-0 Boston.
That's it. All you have to do is win by 1. The difference is of no importance, really, unless you let it affect you.
Again, that's where Magic and Riley and Karrem come into play.
I tell you, I think Magic is going to respond to that challenge. Pick this ball club up by its bootstraps and get them back in and play their style.
You'll hear the cheers. Standing ovation as the clock winds down for the Celtics. Lambus will foul Maxwell first. And there's an indication right there that the Lakers were not going to let the Celtics run that clock down so easy.
They don't give up. I think the Celtics caught them by surprise, had more intensity for this first game, used their physical part a little bit more than the Lakers did early on, and really Parish and McHale running so hard to stop the LA fast break, the biggest factor. I don't know whether they'll be able to do that in a potential 7-game series, run that hard.
Celtics, Carr going in. 5 seconds. And that'll do it. Scott Wedman and Kevin McHale each scored 26. James Worthy had 20. No contest, game 1, but it's just game 1. Best of 7, give it to the Boston Celtics by a wide margin.
Back in Boston, I'm Brent Musburger, where the Boston Celtics have won game 1 of this NBA World Championship Series. They did it in blowout fashion. One of the stars of the first half spurt by the Celtics was guard Danny Ainge. He's standing by with Pat O'Brien, so let's go to Pat.
All right, Brent, thank you. One of the stars indeed. What got into you? You got them off to a quick start today.
Well, the shots were there. You know, they were doubling down and left me in the open. And the transition game, we got really going because our defense was pretty good there in the first quarter. And, you know, that's the best style, you know, get out in the open, and that's my game.
Your confidence level was very high today, too, Dan.
Yeah, I think so. You know, there's no reason not to have confidence when you're out on the court with players like we have, Larry Bird, McHale, Parish, everybody.
Okay, all of them aren't going to be this easy, I don't think. What do you expect? What do you see for Thursday night?
Well, you know, we all remember what happened last year when in Game 3 to us, and you know they're going to come out even harder come Thursday, and you know we got to be at our best to win the game again.
All right, Danny, congratulations on a great game, and Scott Wedman is here, and you were hot today too.
A little bit.
Didn't miss anything.
I felt good out there. You know, sitting there on the bench in the first quarter, you just seeing how those guys were playing. You know, the guys on the bench, we just really felt like we wanted to come in and keep it going.
What does that do to the team when you guys off the bench play that well?
Well, it's just that much more of a lift. You know, when we go in, if we, you know, gain 5 points, we're going to stay in the game. If we lose 5 points, we're going to come out. So we can just go in there and try to be loose and play our game. We've played together enough, and, you know, we're just real confident at this point.
I don't know if you keep track of stats, but you set a championship record today. It's got 11 and 11.
Well, that was great, but I remember 2 free throws I missed, so I got to work on those. So, you know, I was real glad to be able to do that, and we're just going to try and really get prepared for Game 2 and not relax.
All right, Scott, thanks for joining us in the postgame. Let's go back up to Brent.